Hello and welcome to another episode of Interesting Things Said by Uninteresting People, a podcast where we, well, in this case, discuss things that neither of us know what the other one's talking about.
No, hugely ill-informed, ill-versed, ill-practiced.
Malpracticed. It should be ill-informed things said by uninformed people.
Yeah, it should.
Interesting things said by uninteresting people. Show hosted by Ben and Tom. Interesting things said by uninteresting people.
My name's Ben, and as always, I'm joined by the far more informed half of the outfit.
It's just not true.
How's it going,
Hello,
Tom?
I'm good. How are you?
I am hot as shit.
Oh my god, it's
Not
so
to
hot.
cut straight to it, it is hot as balls.
It is hot as balls. David, if you're listening from Sweden, it's hot as balls over here in England.
I'd like to know what the Swedish for hot as balls is.
Just,
If we could get the closest translation,
that'd be ideal.
that would be tip top.
Absolutely ideal.
I mean, I was without getting too boring in my adult day job. I spent a lot of time inside old people's homes. I think I said to you earlier.
Yeah.
One of the little old dears had a thermometer on the wall which read 29 degrees inside. Now, for our listeners in sub-Saharan Africa, obviously that's peanuts.
That's
So
peanuts.
you forgive us, but it's not really what we're used to here.
We're not used to it over here at all.
And what was it you said? You made a very good point as well. That's hot enough to kill old people.
Yeah, old people die in heat, don't they?
I think
and
so.
cold.
Is that why you have to crack a window when you go shopping? If you leave them at home
Yeah.
and you go shopping, you have to crack
It's
the
like an
windows.
animal. No, but it does. You will read about that. Like old people die in France because it's hot.
Yeah.
Get an aircon.
Callous. It's absolutely callous.
Get an ice pop before they go out. Suck on that.
Have you been enjoying the sun? Have you been out
Do you
and
know what?
about? Or?
I walked through the park to get here. For those listeners that don't know where Ben lives, it's near a park.
There is a park.
And I actually thought on the way, I was like, dude, I need to get out more because I haven't been in a long time. Like I've been going out on weekends and stuff. Most evenings after work, just been straight up inside.
Yeah.
Either like watching stuff, working, or just not being outside.
Keeping that, what they say, own your tone. You got to keep that lily white.
Look at that though.
I was going to say, mate,
that's a tan line from my watch.
that's a genuine watch strap.
It's not dirt. It's a tan line. Yeah, dude, I need to get out more. How about you?
Mate, I've been all right. Yeah, I had the most middle class Sunday, grown up Sunday that I've had in a long time.
Did you have
actually.
a picnic?
No, man, we had a hike.
Oh,
Had a
wow.
hike along the coast.
Yeah.
To go and join the holidaymakers in a little tucked away.
Grockles.
all
Goddamn
the
grockles.
Yeah, all the grockles in a tucked away pub somewhere. But we started out by going to the garden centre.
Dude, that is very
It's
middle
right,
class.
right. To buy some strawberry plants for a late Father's Day present for my father-in-law. So that was. But then we had Sunday roast with in the blazing heat. So defiantly Britishing our way
Yeah.
through the summer.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so hot.
And then off for a hike around with some other friends down to the pub and back.
Hiking, all this hiking, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it wasn't
Same.
healthy. It really wasn't healthy.
It sounds healthy, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So other than sweating and trying to stay in the shade, yeah, it's been alright. It's been okay.
Fair enough. Without further ado,
Yes.
it's time for some goddamn good news, everyone. Is that what we said
Dun,
we'd do? Good news.
We need to. I think the theme tune changes every week.
It does.
Good news.
Dun, dun, dun. That'll do.
Okay.
Anyway, good news. Good news. It is some cool news. Sometimes I feel like I regurgitate like articles I've seen on The Verge sometimes, but I can't remember if this was or not. I might have seen it on Twitter.
Okay.
Is a company. I was going to say they, because I always say they. The company has started making prosthetic arms, but they're proper ones that move and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So bionic arms, but they aren't designed to look like human arms, if that makes sense. So the idea is it looks bionic. So it kind of like, I can't remember if it lights up, but it looks like it's got LEDs in it. Lights up, like moves like a regular hand and all this sort of stuff. And the idea behind it is that rather than when you start a conversation with someone that has lost an arm, they say a lot of people start on like a negative space, like, oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
And they were saying that this bionic arm, because it looks so bionic and it looks like a robot arm.
Yeah.
The conversation shifts to, oh my God,
That's an
that's
amazing.
amazing.
arm.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
great.
How does it work?
Okay.
And like it's a really interesting way of solving that issue of like, because there's people now who have obviously lost arms and they say, you know, it's either not talked about or people look at it funny and all that sort of stuff. And this totally changes the conversation around a prosthetic limb. So opposed to like, how did you lose it? It's like, wow, look at your arm, also, which is really cool.
I guess it's that kind of, you avoid that. I know we're getting past this now, but you sort of avoid that almost like an uncanny valley, you know, that kind of off-puttingness of a you sometimes get with a solid.
Yes.
You know, if someone's got an old solid, you know, fake hand or what have you, that can sometimes look a bit, you know, I don't want to say weird or so, because it's not, but do you know what I mean? It's avoiding that kind of, it's close, it's trying to be the real thing, but it's not quite. It.
They were just saying, you know, we're done trying to make it look human, you know. There's no point trying to do it. And the best thing about it is it's $120 to buy.
Oh, okay.
And it's like totally customizable. So it's 3D printed, as things are nowadays, it seems.
Yeah, sure.
And you can go on the website. I can't remember if it's out yet. I don't think it is. I don't have the company's name or anything like that. Hugely uninformed.
Well, we can probably find it. I'll stick it in the
but yeah,
in
you
the
can
notes,
in a similar way to sometimes you can design trainers online and pick all the colours and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with your arm. So you can pick like, you know, golden parts and what accent you want on it and how it's going to look and how all this sort of stuff. Super cool. And there's like kids that have like obviously lost their arms. They've got there with their like Iron Man themed arm, and they're like stoked. They can't believe their luck in many ways.
Yeah,
I'm sure they can, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
And there's a guy who's lost his arm, and he's talking about it on their lows. He's like the spokesperson for that company because he's obviously got his arm missing, and it's really cool. It's like a really nice.
That's awesome.
I think it's an interesting way anyway of avoiding that dark conversation about it and making it like sweet.
So what kind of not like functionality? I'm not expecting like
it does
laser beams, right? But you know what I mean? What does it look like? Is it like 5-fingered or is it it's down to
it does look like a human, you know, looks human. If you imagine a bionic arm, it really does just like a
sci-fi hand.
Yeah,
kind of.
like a sci-fi hand, a bit like Tron with the lines going down it and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And you know, it kind of looks slightly metallic. I imagine it's plastic. I assume. But yeah, it's this full finger functionality. I think there's a video went viral of it, of a woman throws a ball from her normal hand into her bionic hand, and she manages to catch it with the fingers articulating in.
Yeah,
a lot of hands, they'll just catch it and it'll just stay in their palm.
Yeah, and then 2 seconds later.
Yeah. It crushes the ball. But no, it catches it like bang on.
Wow.
And she can't believe it. It's amazing. It's really cool.
Mate, that's really interesting. Can I just segue into asking you a question, which I was talking to someone else about a little while ago. Now I know, you know, I know it's a sensitive subject. I know people would much rather keep their existing body parts and their existing limbs. But there's talk. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, like with legs, they're saying that a lot of bionic legs, in some functional aspects, like sports, are superior.
Yeah.
They're not just a replacement, they're actually an improvement over your natural ankle and your natural calf, because it doesn't tire, you know, you can just keep going.
It springs.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff. No, I totally get that.
I mean, assuming that we're on a trajectory of technology and things should get better and better and what have you, I mean, would you ever voluntarily replace bits of yourself?
It would have to be so good to consider it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I ever would at this point. At this point, but you know, if we were living in a crazy future where like the benefit was like far outweighed.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine it would almost become like a standard procedure. Like, I'm going bionic this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going
like,
full
wow,
bio.
sweet.
Yeah,
but you'd imagine, you know, and then, dude, that's scary. And then there'd be people like, they'd be like, oh, you're just organic then. What's that like?
Yeah,
you know, that's that horrible thing.
But I mean, because for example, there's heart disease in my family.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a fair bit, and I'm, you know, not something that preys on my mind all the time, but I know it's there.
Yeah.
So I know I need to, you know, try and stay healthy or whatever, to try and do what I can to avoid it. What if they said, no, this bionic heart is passed all the tests. It's same as like a cataract operation is now. You know, the stuff they use for that is tried and tested over thousands and thousands of operations.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's fine. Yeah. And if they said to you, we've got the same success rate, we can switch your heart out, you can have a bionic one, it will never fail you. You'll outlive this heart.
Yeah.
I mean, would you? It's a bit of a, because
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
because it's on the inside, you don't see it. I don't know.
See, for me, that's where like I wouldn't say spiritual, but like a kind of more not ethical either. But
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it's like that's you.
It's
that's
more moral, I suppose. Yeah,
organically you.
Yeah, there's something about your heart as well. It's like,
Yeah, they always talk about it in books and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
that's yeah. I don't know, man. That's weird. But then maybe you could be like, if someone needs a I was just gonna say if someone needs a heart, then you could give them your heart, and you could have the bionic heart.
You'd give them
But
the
then
bionic heart,
you
wouldn't
give
you?
them the bionic. You'd save an operation.
But no, but you're right though. I mean, but this is the thing: the way your mind went then. Like, if the bionic heart was better, maybe you would want to say, "Well, I'll have
Yeah.
this bionic one, and you can have my old
duffer.
rubbish one."
Yeah. So
Wow.
I don't know, man. It's. I don't think I would at this point. I think it would have to be so far in the future where it's like totally normal and you saw it all the time.
Yeah.
But then do we get a bit Deus Exy when they've got guns coming out of their arms? and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's true. I mean, it depends on which one we'll go for. Oh, man, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but there's something else maybe I could tell you about. But it depends on whether we'd go making a bionic heart, which is better than a human heart, or making and growing an organic human heart that just to replace it, out of your own stem cells.
Yeah.
Because they've started making meat to eat out of stem cells now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, that's insane.
Do you know, dude, I would give that a go.
I'd try. Well,
I'd try it.
Apparently, it is just meat.
Yeah,
If
if you wouldn't notice
it's
the difference, then why not?
Yeah, and they've said now they can make vegetarian blood to come out of your steak, or you come out of your. They said, why not make a chicken a red meat? Because they call it heme, which is just the grossest word for it.
Heme sandwich.
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's I'm going to butcher this now, but I think it's a soy derivative, or it's out of the roots of a particular plant, where it's basically a molecule that is shaped similarly to hemoglobin, and it holds iron in the same way. It's like a little cage. I'm doing it with my hands.
Oh,
You
the
can't see
blood
this.
is called heme.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
That's even worse. I thought you were talking about the chicken.
No, oh man, the heme juice. It's
That's heme in that.
Yeah.
Is.
So it makes like the molecule makes a cage around the iron in the same way that your blood does, and it's red, it's bloody, it's dude, it's weird. It's really, really weird.
Bet they could change the colour too if they wanted.
Oh man, yeah, probably. Ugh.
Freaks. What's wrong with these
Yeah.
people?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't.
Did we ever stop to say should we? It's that sort of thing, isn't
We're
it?
so concerned whether we could.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's good news though. That is an
good news.
exceptional good news statement.
And I guess this is like that's the end of good news. Okay. And news closed.
Is that because we can't taint good news with any kind of even
No.
mediocre news?
It's not even bad news. It's just kind of, I guess it's sad news.
Okay.
Maybe we should have a sad news segment. No, this is totally separate and
Fix
a
it in
one-off.
post. We'll stick it in.
We'll stick it in. There's so there's the good news. The kind of bad, weird, annoying, kind of lame news is that there is now I saw this on Twitter, and apologies if you've seen it too, and I picked the wrong city. I'm pretty sure it's the right city. In New York City, there's a like graffiti mural, right? So someone, famous artist has graffitied a mural, and it's really cool. But to have your picture in front of it, there's a fly going around Ben. There's a fly going around Ben.
Oh my god, that's going to be driving me up the wall. It's gone.
It's gone.
No, it has not gone, and it will not go. Right? No.
will not.
I'm just going to put up with. I'm going to sit here and suffer, stare for straight
Let's
ahead.
come over it. Anyway, there's this mural in New York City, done by somebody, and basically to have your picture taken next to it, you have to have 20,000 Instagram followers. It's in a tent. It's like cornered off in a tent, run by the city, I imagine. But to have your picture next to it, you have to have 20k Instagram followers. And if you can't prove it, then you can't even go in and see it.
That's not even bad news. That's weird news.
It's kind of Black Mirror weird, like weird news.
So, sorry, I'm thinking about squashing this fly again. Come on, Ben. Stay on track. I can do this. I can do this. That's really, really weird. I don't get the justification for it because it's not, people will see it. It's not like Wu-Tang's album where
It was on Ben's head. It was on Ben's head for a minute.
this is the whole podcast is going to be destroyed. Hang on. No.
Oh, that was a good try.
I might have scared him off. I'll put the willies up him.
The Willis.
Anyway, yeah, it's not like Wu-Tang's album. The one where they said you can only listen to it in 100 years, or you can come and listen to it in the museum, but no one can buy it.
Dude,
is it still around? Is it still around?
Yeah, it literally just went back on you.
Oh my god, this is going to be the worst episode ever, and that's saying something. That's
Right, it's gone. Anyway.
Yeah. It's weird like that because it's not as if they're denying other people seeing it. It's just for almost for the sake of it more than
Mate,
anything
it
else.
reminded me of the Black Mirror episode with, when you have a star rating for who you are.
Yeah,
So it's like, well, people with over 4 stars can come and see it and have their picture next to it, and people that don't can't. It was just weird. I saw it on Twitter, and I clicked on it, scrubbed through it quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell? And then closed it out of
What's
annoyance.
the mural like?
It's kind of like some angel wings, I think, from what I remember, angel wings and like a halo. So you can stand at a certain point,
So you
and it
can
looks like you've got.
That's...
And it's just like an NYC kind of branded thing. I don't know who runs it, if I'm totally honest. And when I tried to find it again before we started, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
It's just, to be honest, it's what annoys me about it is it's just capitalizing on it's the definition of creating demand.
Yeah.
The minute they went, you've got to have 20,000 Instagram followers to come in.
Dude, it's not a good message to send people either, is it? It's just like saying, you're not famous enough, or what a thing to say to kids, like, oh well,
this
you haven't even got 20k followers, who are you? Yeah, sort of thing.
Have you seen I think the magazine covers doing the rounds on social media at the minute. It looks like a teen girl magazine, and on the front it's like, or maybe it's aimed at women at any rate. I think it's like a teeny sort of thing. And on the front, the 2 headlines below each other, the top one is like how to get the Love Island beach board, without doing any work. The one underneath it is, why are all of our teenage girls so anxious and full of anxiety?
God.
And everyone's looking at it going, I think you've answered your own question in the space of 2 headlines.
It's dreadful.
But the thing is, what bugs me about that wings and the halo, that's the equivalent of like one of those tacky seaside hole in the fence, and you can be a bodybuilder,
It's not particularly like cool.
No.
It's just like it's basically a brag, isn't it? It's like, I've got this much and you haven't.
Oh, but it's so
Dude, it's a weird thing. If I can find the article, I'll send it to you so you can like link it. But yeah, that kind of concludes sad news, I guess.
Yeah, sad news.
A one-off segment about lame things.
Do you know what I thought it was going to be? Like, oh, by the way, the prosthetic arms are radioactive.
Yeah, and it's killed many.
Many have died.
Children.
Oh, it's like, we'll get the good bit out the way.
No,
killing
the arm
kids.
is good stuff.
Yeah.
This weird mural is bad stuff.
Okay, cool. So begins the segment of what have you done? What have I done?
Oh, okay.
And never the twain shall meet.
Mate, I just spoke loads, so do you want to deliver?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Go
We can
for
do
it.
Well, I went to Poland recently.
Ben's been to Poland.
I did, which many people have. I should start by saying this isn't like a. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of people who live there.
Yeah,
I understand.
Dude, what made you pick it? Because I know a few people have gone to Poland, and not that I don't understand why, but what kind of why there?
I don't know. It's difficult to put my hand on a specific reason as to why. It was partly a gift from my dad.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a travel fund for as a present to go and use. I don't know. We wanted to go to Poland for a little while, and I can't tell you why. I think we've liked the culture. Obviously, there's a lot of history in Poland as well.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of serious history, all that kind of stuff.
The old World War II.
Yeah. And it was great. It was honestly really great. I can recommend to anyone who can manage to get out there.
Awesome.
It's worth a trip.
Dude, I've always heard from people that have been out there that it's like the alcohol is like crazy cheap. Is
I'll
that
be
true?
honest, mate. I bring back tales of a golden land. Yeah,
Do you go Tales of a Golden
It is
Eldorado for
insanely cheap. Yeah, not just the alcohol and the food.
really. Why is it so cheap? Is everything cheap or just the food and drink?
I guess not everything's cheap, but to stay out there, put it this way, as a tourist, to stay out there, you would not spend a lot. I think the two of us, we struggled to spend more than a tenner on a meal.
Really?
Yeah, for a lot of it. Yeah,
Whoa.
I think there were maybe a couple of times. We were there for about 4 or 5 days or so.
Yeah.
Airbnb'd it up, so we kind of we're staying in the city, and we struggled to spend a lot of money on food.
Really?
And drink.
That's insane. How much is it? How much is a pint then? Just like a standard pint of beer.
Roughly £1. Yeah.
Really?
Ish. Yeah, around that. And it's good beer. You get good
it's
Polish lagers. You get nice drinks. And we did a cookery school while we were over there as well.
I think I saw some pictures.
Did you?
On
Yeah.
Facebook, maybe. Yeah.
Social media right up.
Yeah.
When I got back. Dude, it was good fun, man. It was really good. And I know we don't have like a hugest reach with people listening to this.
Yeah.
I would encourage people to try cooking schools. If you go away, if you've got like a city break, or you just got like an afternoon to kill or a day to kill, honestly, cooking classes in a foreign country are brilliant.
Really?
Or they have been so far for us.
Been really fun.
Yeah, I mean, there was, you get a nice mix of people from around the world doing it normally. We had all the music going. This the woman who was running it was a very much like a rock, punk, metal kind of fan.
Really?
So we had these amazing tunes on the stereo.
Nice.
And yeah, man, we made like drop scones or like apple pancakes. Ate a load of meat and cheese as like a Polish breakfast.
I can imagine meat and cheese being big out there.
Dude, it's so good, man. The cheese. I'm a
The
cheese
cheese.
fan. The cheese is tasty.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, smoked cheeses, sheep's cheese, which I know some people hear and think sounds a bit gross. It's delicious, but we made pierogi as well, so like they're little dumplings, filled dumplings.
Yeah.
And oh man, I could eat them all day long.
Really, so good.
Really.
Oh, what they don't use euros, do they? Or do they?
No, it's zloty.
Oh,
So
zloty.
it's, yeah. It's
How many zloty to a quid?
It was about.
That's the English way of knowing things. How many
Yeah.
zlotys
It was about. What was it? Oh, man, you see how quickly I just filter information I'm not going to use again.
Yeah, it's just like it's just gone.
Was it about? It's about 10 to a pound.
Yeah, I like
No.
it when it's a nice round number like that. It's not too difficult to remember.
Yeah, it was. I remember it being easy, or was it like a fifth? No, I think it was. Yeah, it was roughly about a fifth, maybe. Oh man, I'm going to look like such an idiot. You wait. I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep talking to you, and I'm going to look it up now.
Mate,
while I'm doing it.
When we went to Hong Kong, it was like 100 Hong Kong dollars was a tenner, and that was the easiest way of like remembering it.
Yeah.
And that's how I went on everything. So when something was like 10 Hong Kong dollars, I'm like, I think that's a quid.
Yeah.
And then because they had $10 coins,
It's
and like
roughly,
that
yeah.
kind of looks like a pound anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
try
Yeah,
and
it's
give
nice
that
and
one
easy.
out. Yeah.
I can tell you that as of today, mate, it is 1 zloty is exactly 20p. So it is a
so
fifth.
fine.
Yeah, it's a fifth.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, because I remember it being pretty easy to mentally sort of figure out.
Zloty.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it was the food was great, and the thing is, while we're doing the cooking school, we were drinking lots of vodka as well. So
Oh,
she started
man.
out. There were two options. They say you can either pay to just do the food, or you can pay to do the vodka in between as well.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Obviously,
everyone
yeah.
did that. In fact, mate, I'll tell you what. Do you want to have a look down there? You see those bottles down there?
Yeah.
You see the one with the brown stuff in it? There's should be 3 bottles the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's have a little look at that. Have
One of these?
Yeah, that's the one. Crack that and just have a smell. Oh man, have a swig if you fancy it. But
I'm
just
gonna
have
crack
have a
for
taste.
the listeners out there. That's I thought it was gonna go boom boom.
No, dude. Well, this is
Put in sound effect.
yeah.
Boom. Oh,
It's really good. So we brought back a few
Dude.
bottles of the vodka that we were trying. Mate, honestly,
How
if
much
you
was
want
this
to
then?
get your finger in it.
You
No,
sure?
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, if you want to get your finger in, just give it a bit of a tippy tip. Just have a taste. Because Tom is very carefully doing it onto his left index finger. How nice is that?
It almost tastes like a liqueur.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hazelnut flavored vodka. I think we brought back a blackberry one. I think we got down there, and maybe a lime one or a lemony one. But dude, it's
So how much was this?
oh
I'm holding up the bottle.
enough. I don't remember exactly. I remember because I brought Joe back some, my brother, for a present. It was enough to be a decent present, and not so much that we couldn't comfortably bring back 3
Couldn't bring
bottles
back
of it.
loads
as
of
a-
it, yeah.
as a. But yeah, so dude, so the vodka was really good. I think it's Soplica is the name of it, which is probably it's not the fanciest vodka in the world,
No.
probably, but it's very tasty. Very nice. Yeah,
That's
dude, and that was just the one day of it, because we stayed in Warsaw.
Yeah.
We did the cooking class. We had a look around. We saw the zoo. We saw the museums. There's the old town in Warsaw, which is absolutely beautiful. We took a day trip to Krakow on the train, which was doable. It's a couple of hours on the train. Again, didn't cost the earth.
Yeah.
We had an interesting ride home. Stuck with a guy from the American Army and his Ukrainian squeeze.
Oh,
Which
really?
was the longest 2.5 hours of my life on the way
Were
home.
you sitting next to me? Was it just
We're
like,
in a private carriage because we thought
like proper old school train?
right.
Like,
So
chuck, 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 chuck.
we got no. It was a right, man. Trains on the continent put trains in Britain to shame on
Really?
certain things, man. We paid the first on our way there. We had a second class ticket, and it was spacious and open.
No way.
And on the way home, we'd already pre-booked. We're like, oh, we'll get first class on the way
Yeah,
home. So
why
we
not?
were thinking, if this is second class,
What's first
what's
class?
first
Yeah.
class? So and on the way home, we went in the carriage, and they had the old school Harry Potter style, cabins, which is fine, right? There's 6 seaters, which is fine if you're on your own. It's not fine if there's just 2 of you and you're in there with 2 other people, because then if there was 2 more, it would have been fine, because it's like, oh, we're all here, yeah,
we're all buffers, yeah,
it's fine, yeah. We're all each other's buffer,
yeah.
But just the 2 of you and then 2 other people, you have to kind of chat, and this guy was a bit weird.
Did you not want to stop chatting?
He didn't. He fell asleep eventually. He seemed like a nice enough guy. I don't hold this against him, but he was quite a Trump supporter. He believed that the States were far superior to Europe in general, the country of Europe. I could see his Ukrainian friend rolling her eyes quite a lot.
Oh no!
So I think
she knows.
To be fair, I think she was getting what she wanted out of her acquaintance with him.
I'm sure she was.
But it was just funny. Yeah. So anyway, the train ride. We went to a doll's house museum, which is the creepiest place in the world.
Dude, that sounds scary.
Yeah, man.
Was it at night?
It felt like it. Dude, it felt permanent like night. Yeah, unending night. We went to the Museum of Pharmacy. It did lots of different places, lots of different cool things. I mean, you can see why it would appeal to the stag doos and hen parties who do go to Krakow, to go and hang out, because they're very geared up for tourists.
Really ready for it. Yeah,
it's. I mean, it's their main thing. But as I say, cheap food and drink, very friendly people. We were there in a bit of a heat wave as well. It's 30 degrees when we were there.
Oh man, that's well hot.
Yeah, no, it was. It felt like we were in the middle of an oven.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what can I say? I would really recommend it. I guess the trouble is that whenever someone comes away from anywhere else, they come home going, "You should go. You should go."
Yeah, that's it.
So I guess the food is good if you like city breaks. Then Poland's good for that. We'd like to actually go back to eastern Poland at some point because there's lots of forests and it's a bit more rural, and you can see like the bison out there, and there's wolves, I think, as well. There's quite, and it makes you feel very connected with, you get the feel for older Europe, if you know what I mean. You get the feeling that we used to be part of a wooded continent, and all the rest of it. Here. It was cool, man. I can heartily recommend it.
Excellent.
And Airbnb was amazing.
Good.
And this
good hosts. Good hosts.
Good host. We didn't even see him. The best host.
The best type.
The best host.
Yeah.
We didn't see them at all. Yeah, it was quite funny because they'd obviously bought the flat, or at least redone it, thinking it's going to be an Airbnb.
Right.
Because all of it, they'd gone through IKEA in probably one shopping trip and gone, we need chairs, we need a table, we need a mirror. It was all themed and it all sat together. But it was very pleasant. I know this can sound quite quaint to people who live anywhere except the southwest of England, but Uber is super useful when you're
it's
abroad.
Amazing, isn't it?
Oh man! So I mean, because I made a bit of an effort with my Polish. It was it was
made
all right.
the effort,
but at the same time, it's a very easy process to go to your phone. I want to go here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Can I pay? Yep, paid.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
I don't even
Where's
want to speak
the car?
to this guy.
Well, you get in. Hey, hi. How's it going? Yeah, good. Okay, right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, man. So it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
Excellent.
I'd like to go back again at some point.
Anyway, so Ben went to Warsaw. No, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ben went to Warsaw. And I went to Download Festival.
Oh yeah, man.
And it was good, man. It was really good. I've been to Reading quite a few times, over the years, and stopped camping after a while because I'm so over camping. I'm so over camping at festival, and I don't think I'd ever do it again.
When you say you stopped camping, was that to do something else, like to just go day ticketing, or?
That's what we've done, pretty much since, and I've enjoyed it so much more. There's nothing. For those people that have been to Reading and all that sort of stuff before, the toilet situation is just dreadful, and camping, hungover, all of that stuff.
Sure.
I am done. We're so done. I think the last time I went as a camping thing, it was 2011. I remember on the second day just being do you know what? I'd actually rather be at home. And I knew
that's not a good thing to think, is it?
Yeah, I knew at that point, I was this will probably be the last year I'll come as a camper, because I had such a bad time that year. Only because it just didn't want to be there. I found it really hard to be motivated, to be in a good mood. And I was just a bit bummed out, and I was counting down the days a bit. And I remember waking up on the last day like, yes, today
It feels easy.
we're going home.
Yeah,
It feels
Oh
easy.
man.
So that was never good. So yeah, I've been doing days since then, and they've been really cool. Like, we really enjoyed doing days. Anyway, basically we went to download this year because Callie's like a massive fan of Baby Metal, like big time.
Sure. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
literally went abroad to watch them a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow. Okay, and then download.
2 dates in a row, yeah.
Wow,
And then we went to
okay.
download. So she saw them like 3 times in a row that week. And yeah, so we went to download and we went. It's the first time I've been at an open air festival where I didn't take my earplugs. Usually I take them, but I don't wear them because like I've got them just in case. But every time I've never used them, I'm like, do you know what? I'm not even gonna bother taking them because open air festival, the sound just seems to kind of travel like. Doof.
You don't seem to have so much of an issue.
No,
with
not
it,
at
do you?
all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to the front of the Zippo stage, which is like kind of a smaller stage, but still pretty big. I'd probably say it's like maybe half the size of Reading's main stage. So it's still pretty sizable,
Oh right. Okay.
Pretty sizable.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
But not massive. And we got right to the front for 3 bands before, so we made sure we're at the front for metal. And the first band that were playing, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty loud, but it's fine, totally doable. And the next band came on called Bury Tomorrow, who I'd never listened to before.
Okay.
My God, man, they were heavy
Okay.
and loud, and like when you feel it in your chest.
Yeah,
like you do.
sure.
You feel it in your chest a lot of gigs you go to, but I like it. Like literally rocked me to the core.
Wow.
I hate to sound so cliche, but proper like the
Yeah,
bass.
sure.
You could feel the bass more than you could hear it. It was like,
Wow.
and it was like
man.
my eardrums that night were like actually hurting. Like, and it felt like I was
Jeez.
underwater. I was just like, never make that mistake again.
Wow.
But on the flip side, the bands were really, really good, and we really enjoyed the bands that were on before Baby Metal. So we saw Bury Tomorrow, who were amazing. I really enjoyed them. Like when they first kicked on, I was like, oh my God. But then they started playing, I was like, and it was pretty heavy, it's pretty screamy, but
Sure.
really good. Then another band called Asking Alexandria came on.
Asking Alexandria. Yeah.
I've
Sure.
never listened to them, but they were pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then a band called L7, and they were terrible.
Oh,
It was like an old
I've heard of L7, man.
dude. It was
I'm
like
sure
an
I
old
have.
lady band. That sounds mean, but as in like 40s, 50s women playing, and it was just like weird old grunge. It didn't fit
Okay.
in at all, and they had their set cut short by 20 minutes.
Wow.
It was like a really weird, like almost like they weren't supposed to play, but they did. It was weird. I think they
That's
had it cut short
unfortunate.
because of technical faults, but
Sure.
so they were barely on.
Sure it was. Yeah. Oh, that's such a shame.
But,
But hey, as long as the rest of them are all
No,
right.
it was really good. And then Guns N' Roses were the headline, but we didn't watch them. We went and watched Neck Deep instead.
Oh, dude, you're
Mate,
such a
I
2000s
know.
punk
I
kid.
don't. I've never really liked Guns N' Roses, so I was totally happy missing them.
Sure.
And
sure.
we saw like the intro and stuff, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's Guns N'
And
Roses,
then the best thing about watching Neck Deep though is because Guns N' Roses did this really lame thing where they said no one else can play at the same time with us, so all the other bands had to finish at like 7 o'clock,
right.
so they could just.
Hang on. Can anyone else?
Can anyone else hear
They
that?
won't notice. They won't notice. It's fine. They won't notice.
So that Zippo stage we were at had to shut, and so did the other stage. But this the stage where the Neck Deep were playing had to stay open for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
And Neck Deep came on, and
Flies back. Bye.
The flies back.
Sorry.
And,
sorry.
Literally, they before they started, obviously all the lights went down, and kind of people cheering, and then just like really quietly on this really lame little synthesizer was do 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 do
Oh,
do, and they
man.
did the first like verse of Sweet Child of Mine, but really ripping on it.
Yeah.
And when their backdrop appeared, it was the Guns N' Roses backdrop.
Oh, amazing.
And they just like kind of wrote Neck Deep on it. It was so funny. Everyone was loving it because
Oh,
obviously everyone
dude.
was very much for Neck Deep. As
Yeah.
opposed to Guns N'
Sure.
Roses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hit the nail on the head, and people were loving it from the get go. That was awesome. So yeah, went to download. On the complete flip side, I went to see Katy Perry last Monday.
I saw some Instagram footage of this.
Yeah,
What
man.
was that like?
So good, and I knew a surprising amount, even though I don't actively listen to Katy
Yeah,
Perry.
sure.
I wouldn't put her on Spotify, but just from from radio and all the other areas where she's played and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
films and all. God, I'd say I knew like 60% of the songs.
Wow.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe even more, because there was like, I think the thing is with big pop acts like that, the show is almost the spectacle in itself. There's so much going on. People flying around. Katy Perry got on this planet and flew around the whole stadium.
Wow.
You know, the sets were amazing. Massive, like this massive, I'm talking gigantic pair of lips came out.
Oh,
And
right.
just like opened and closed, and like she went in them and outside. It was mental.
Okay.
It was mental, and like the whole show was just wicked good.
Yeah.
And she was awesome. People got up on stage like from the audience. She was really cool. It was a really good show, and the best part is I got to go for free. Yay.
Oh man, that's the way to do it. Absolutely.
That's the way
is
to
that
do it.
is that colouring your view of it?
Maybe,
somewhat.
maybe. But no, mate, it was amazing. Like I'd newfound respect for a big pop act like that, because that can't be easy to put all that off and sing and dance and all that stuff. She obviously had a huge backing track.
Yeah.
But it was mainly her vocal.
Yeah,
it really
sure.
was mainly her. There was
Well-
obviously massive backups on big choruses and
Yeah.
stuff. But no, verses not so much.
But man, Katy Perry's got chops there, man. I mean, I
Mate,
know
she does have
The
chops.
trouble is, whenever you try and give any pop act or pop singer a compliment, you do get the people who just jump straight up and go, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's not."
It's
but
all auto-tuned.
It's
or
like
whatever.
you do get some crappy songs sometimes, or songs
Yeah, of
that I
course you
really
do.
don't like. But you also get pop acts who are genuinely good,
Genuinely
who
amazing.
actually can sing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think my brother went to go and see Christina Aguilera. I seem
Yeah.
to remember. I've got a friend who went to go see Pink.
Yeah.
Same story every time.
I'd love
man.
to see
It's-
Pink's
Oh,
good.
dude, I'd love to see Pink play live. Because it's supposed to be. She's got such
Proper good singer,
such chops, man.
Yeah.
She's got cred. Do you know what I mean? She's legit.
Powerful
She's
voice.
Yeah.
But no, man, it was great. Like I said, really worth seeing. It was almost like watching a musical in London. Do you know, like
Oh, sure.
properly good show, good lights, good. Just everything was good. Everything's on point as well. There's no hint of any kind of mistake. It was all
Yeah.
pitch
I
perfect.
suppose that's one of the benefits of you look at bands, even successful bigger bands who are bands.
Yeah,
I know I don't want to just diminish it because I know a lot of work goes into it, but it's never quite as polished as it.
No.
With a big act like that, you'd have with guys going to see Katy Perry, you'd have the whole team
yeah,
who are analysing every minute of the show.
yeah.
Right, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this,
Yeah.
and it's all laser efficiency
Super
kind of
professional.
timed up. Yeah.
It was cool. It was really cool. But yeah, that was it. Download and Katy Perry, all over 2 weeks.
Dude, that's a hectic musical schedule
It has.
musical adventure to have taken
Mate,
yourself on.
It was. It made me realise how much stuff I've seen this year, because I saw Royal Blood and I saw Marmozets, and now I'm seeing these two. And Coheed have just announced a tour, which I'm really excited about because I'll go and see them in
Oh, cool.
October. It's just like music after music this year. It's wicked. Loving it. Anyway, that concludes Download and Katy Perry.
Fair enough. We were gonna dip in and talk a bit about Luke Cage
Who,
from the point of view of two people who, between us, have seen 3 episodes.
I really like it so far. After 2 episodes, I'm hooked. I can say it. No, it's really cool. Like I said to you, it seems really good so far, and it reminds me of like the good seasons of Netflix Marvel stuff.
Sure,
Jessica Jones season 1, Daredevil season 1. It's got that
It's-
vibe
There's
to
a
it.
kind of recurring theme here, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, man, I've enjoyed the first episode. I thought it was all right. I thought
Yeah.
I think I said to you there were bits where I sort of got lost, where I think they rushed through introducing characters
Yeah, definitely.
quite quickly, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful for it, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first half of last series of Luke Cage,
Yeah.
at least. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm hoping.
Do you know what? I struggled a little bit with the first series of Luke Cage because I felt like in some episodes just not. I don't know, like you felt like not much was happening, and Luke Cage
Yeah.
seemed really reluctant to do much. But it's not the case so far, at least anyway in this one.
I'm hoping that the villain turns out to be as good as Cottonmouth was in the first one.
Mate,
Not to keep going on about the first series, but I hope he turns out to be a decent.
He was
a decent
good.
villain.
And I love how they've kept in Harlem's Paradise, that
Yeah.
kind of club that really made the first season.
Oh, don't worry. Again, they won't hear it. They won't hear it. It's fine. I don't know where all these bloody scooters are. You just take a motorbike minute to look out the window.
1 minute.
It's insane. I don't know where they've all come from. But could you not do it while we're trying to do a podcast?
Do you know what? It's bloody rude.
It's just inconsiderate.
It's
Is what
bloody
it is.
rude.
But yes, that was all we had to say. Really.
That's all we had to say.
Yeah,
It's
Luke,
cool so far.
we'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is where you come for your Luke Cage news.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll
Lose-
watch 4 or
Lose
5
Ca-
episodes.
News Cage? News Cage? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't scan really, does it?
No.
But yeah, we'll report back if it's any good.
We will.
If not, we'll probably forget. We'll probably forget either way,
Yeah.
I guess.
Dude, let's move on to the meat
The meat.
The big meat.
The big meat. Oh,
Ben's
man.
Ben's big meat.
That's not a thing. That isn't a thing. We're not doing it. It's the Selfish Ledger.
The Selfish Ledger from Google. I guess. What's the best way of introducing this? Someone that wouldn't know, Randy. What would?
So it's,
Randy, what would you like us to do here at this point?
Just call in. Right. It's like speak now or forever hold your peace. That kind of thing. Like if he calls in the next couple of minutes, we'll let him. No.
No. Okay.
Okay. It's a video, isn't it? It's a concept video.
It's an internal Google video that got leaked. And when I say leaked in inverted commas, it's a bit like how does stuff get leaked nowadays? Like they must have been pretty blasé with it for it to get leaked.
Well, it's not.
I imagine
it's not super old, but it's not super recent either.
No, it was 2016.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not like cutting edge. I guess 2 years in tech.
Maybe
is quite
they just
old.
didn't care.
Maybe not.
It just
Mate, you might do a better job of explaining it than I would.
Well, okay, so it's a video that a guy produced to show to his colleagues, wasn't it? I think he described it as a concept video.
Yeah, like a thought-provoking kind of what ify
to kind of get his employees or his colleagues to just to sort of think about potentials and possibilities that they might have in the future. You know, not. And the thing is, I know it's Google specific stuff, or it's branded as Google in the video, but it's more the tech, isn't it? I guess it's not. It's really
more about what they could do with what they've got or what they're getting.
And it's not like and it doesn't show sort of Google integrations. I mean, so it's not and your Gmail hooks up to this. It's not. There's no sense of it being we're going to make this and it will do this with these other Google services. But it's quite dystopian at the same time, isn't it?
It's super dark. It's super dark. It starts off quite like interesting and like, ooh, you know, what if? And then suddenly it gets really like, and it does this.
We're coming for you.
But yeah,
so it's basically saying, I mean, it's the idea. They split it into kind of two halves in the video. So the first half is a bit of it's likening it to DNA.
Yeah.
And saying that in the same way that we used to think that DNA could change through your life, and then you passed on the changes to your kids and what have you, whatever. It's saying that your interactions with technology are kind of like a type of DNA.
So it's basically your private data. Is now your DNA for everything.
Exactly.
That makes you online, I guess.
So the more, for example, that you go to Katy Perry concerts and tweet about it and keep going on about it.
Yeah, give us a bloody break.
It would start to affect your tech DNA, so to speak.
Yeah.
So whatever has access to that would start to think, oh, you are a massive Katy Perry fan or what have you. So it's taking that idea of your digital self.
Yeah.
Like those shitey adverts talk about, like your data self.
Yeah.
Being this separate entity almost.
Yeah.
But then the ledger, as it calls it, starting to become self-interested.
Yeah, so it tries to find out more specifically about you. That's its main goal.
And it's not saying that it's intelligent. It's not that kind of intelligence.
No.
You know, it's not suggesting that it becomes self-aware and it's input, give me more information about it. But it's describing it, and it's difficult to put into words because it's the same way that DNA and evolution works, where it will just naturally, if it finds something that serves itself, it will keep it.
Yeah.
And if something arises that's of benefit to the ledger's purpose, then it will keep it.
The horrible, I guess, when they first explain it, and how he words it is really nasty, is kind of weird because he says initially the ledger will be controlled by you, and you'll say, I want to exercise more. And you'll put that into your phone or whatever you're working on.
Yeah.
And then Google or, faceless evil corporation will push you towards that sort of thing. So say if you load up your phone in the morning and say, I want to be more healthy, then your ledger will start suggesting healthy things throughout your day and say, rather than get an Uber, why not walk?
Yeah.
It's only 2 miles, why not walk? And when you're shopping, it will say, that's not particularly healthy.
Yeah,
sure you
or
want
buy
that?
Local, isn't it? If it's saying your goal is to be more eco-aware or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So it will suggest those small things to kind of push you, I guess, to push you in the direction of being more like that. And this is one of the Verge videos I watched. The way he phrases it is initially it's controlled by you. And then the idea is that it then becomes not self-aware like you're saying, but starts to fill the gaps that it thinks it will need.
Yeah.
And like one of the horrible, I guess, when the video starts getting really dark, is the idea is, say if you've got like a smartwatch and you've got like everything's being tracked, but it doesn't know your weight and it hasn't input it, and you haven't put that in person, and it doesn't want to specifically come up and ask you and say, what's your weight,
How
by
much
the
do
way,
you weigh? Yeah.
in case for some reason you're not putting it in. So what it does instead is, and this is where it gets really creepy, is it takes all of your user data, all of your preferences, everything like what you like the look of, what you generally buy, how much you generally spend, and it makes a set of scales for you. And when I say make it, it literally designs it for you using AI. So it uses all your taste and everything, all your color choices, how you like things to look.
I guess foot size,
all the rest of it,
the decor in your bathroom.
And then it 3D, in the example, it 3D prints it and then tries to sell it to you. So not only is it serving the people that own it by making money, it learns more about you almost by tricking you into thinking.
Yeah.
And if you saw that set of scales pop up, you'd be like, God, I like the look of those.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's everything I'd click
tasty
on.
scales, yeah.
Yeah. And then the ledger plugs that gap in its hull. And it's like, great, now I know even more about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I gonna find out next? What do I need to know?
What's fascinating for this for me is that it's not it's a natural, it's almost like a natural process.
Yeah.
It's not intentionally thinking, but it is trying to be better.
Yeah.
So
it's
that
its
drive
goal is
for
it to be better, not to find out more about you. It's just, it wouldn't matter what the subject was.
Yes,
it's just trying to get better at that subject. And unfortunately, the subject is you.
Yeah.
So it's trying to figure out. But I guess where the things get even more darker is like we're saying, you'd initially control it and say, I want to be healthier, I want to support local business or whatever. They suggest that they could then, if it gets years and years of all this data, they could then start using all that data to influence you in general. For to be nicer to people, to shift your political vote or something like that. And obviously there's cases of that kind of already. So if you click on one thing on Amazon, it starts popping up everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's like a stand advert, and sometimes that's useful because you do want that thing, and it whatever, and it can help you out in any way. Or when an article gets suggested to you, and you're like, actually that is interesting, I will read that, and you're like, good, I wanted to read that. But then,
and behind the scenes, it goes right, tick.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that was a win.
So then the big, they could start using it to, do you know what, this neighborhood isn't voting right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's adjust all of their ledgers.
Yeah.
And get a bit more right wing over here, or whatever they want, a bit more left wing.
Because that's happening to a certain extent. I mean, I think we talked about this before on the show, where your newsfeed will be tailored without you even realizing it. It will show you the views of certain people. Yeah. Friends of yours. It will show you the views that you associate with the most. Or it will show you videos or news articles or whatever. So it kind of reinforces your social ideas, your political ideas, without you even realizing it. Yeah. So what's to stop this sort of technology doing the same?
Well, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
There's no ethics built into this video at all, by the way.
No.
It's all like, this is what it will do, and this is how it's going to work. And it's kind of scary,
cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super cold.
There was a stat I heard recently. I think it's something like, in terms of Google software, 80% of it isn't written by a person.
Really?
Anymore. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like Google algorithms write and improve their own software. I guess what they mean by that is it could test different search algorithms and search functions and what have you.
Can build a better code by testing shortcuts, I guess, or something.
So I guess like features would be human led, but then the functionality to drive certain features would be tweaked and improved and what have you. Yeah, it is scary, but at the same time, is it any different to what's going on at the minute?
Well, this is what a lot of critics were saying when they watched the video. They're like, well, that's a weird, horrible case scenario.
Yeah.
And there's not really massively different from what happens already, just with a bit of propaganda you see on the wall. That's trying to make you think one way. That's all it's trying to do, and that's how advertising works. You see a billboard for it, you see an advert for it, you see it on the street, you see it in the cinema, and then suddenly you bought it.
Is this the start of us turning into the Wall-E generation, though? Where
Makes you wonder,
you hand over enough decision making.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't have to learn to eat healthily. it was just a decision that was put in front of you, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is your dinner for today.
Yeah.
This is what I've ordered you.
Well, mate, this is the powerful thing about it is like that might be good for some people.
Yeah,
You know, I want to
sure.
lose weight. Okay, well, I've ordered all your food for you for this year, or whatever. It's all been pre-ordered,
You could commit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
and that's what you'll be eating because that's what you've got.
yeah.
You know, there's
Oh, but then it becomes like, show me you've ate it.
Yeah.
Waste detected in bin.
punishment
You know,
issue.
punishment.
Dude, it's scary to think that, but you know
Yeah.
that's not impossible. They could probably build that sort of thing now,
I bet, yeah.
and you know, proper evil, and it would do that. But I guess
imagine.
the thing that's everything that's so scary about that ledger is in that video, and it's weird when it gets right at the end. It gets really like the idea is it alters human behavior depending on what the ledger wants.
Yeah,
That's what it says. So it says if there is a company that controls that ledger, they can basically get humans, all of us, to do whatever we want
yeah,
and fall in line and do it. That's kind of like the horrible Black Mirror kind of idea of it.
yeah, sure.
And it's obviously nowhere near that, but it's saying that's what's possible. But Google have called it, because Google got called out on it loads and saying, well, what the hell is this? You know,
Yeah,
what are you
exactly.
trying to do?
Yeah,
And they call it speculative design.
sure.
That's what the video's like, kind of, I don't know,
Well,
bookended
and
with.
that's fair enough. Yeah,
Because it's just a thought experiment. It's not like we're going to do this. And I guess the fact that it's been released might be a good thing, because it might get them to start building ethics in
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
up.
Well, I wonder whether it's because it's trying to be more about the idea of the ledger, but what it's actually about is specific concepts for technology, and I think it's a bit blunt of them. It's a bit kind of short-sighted for them to put that in a video.
Yeah.
That might be seen by the public who wouldn't understand if they're trying to make a point about your digital data and how that progresses.
Yeah.
Don't tell people you're going to have robots that can
No.
build them scales and make them get on the scale. Get on the scales, fatty.
Yeah,
You know,
give
I'm gonna administering whips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit odd of them. You know, it kind of says a bit about the way that the thought process
yeah,
works.
definitely. And it's a really, if you think about how because the video is like, you know, it's a high quality video. It's not something that's chucked together.
Yeah,
You know, it must have taken quite a while to get that video up on the go. It's even like how the video's worded. It kind of has like
Yeah.
weird references to like Harry Potter and
yes,
and kind of reference, you know, weird. I don't know. Even the imagery, like, it's just weird. It just kind
Yeah.
of close-ups of humans and
yeah, because
looking like kind of beaten down and people multiplying and cells and stuff.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's weird.
Hmm.
The whole
Scary.
the whole thing is very dark. It's worth watching, but don't worry if you don't get it, because I had to watch it through again before we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about it tonight. Because to just wrap your head around it is, they talk about genetics for quite a long time. It's like
Yeah.
a solid 4 minutes on genetics. And
Yeah, yeah,
you don't have to understand it specifically, but you need to get a rough idea of what they're on about
Yeah,
to really
sure.
understand what it means. And like I said, at the end, it's just very dark.
yeah. It is Black Mirror come to life. It's easy
It
to
is.
say that, but I think
It is. It's the
Yeah.
closest thing. Mate, it's funny because this Verge video that analyzes it, which I've regurgitated very badly, they're like, remember that Black Mirror episode where a big corporation takes all our data and then builds stuff for us and we buy it back and blah blah. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, well, that's because it wasn't a Black Mirror. And then it shows the Google logo and it does the Black Mirror like,
Yeah.
it cracks. Like, I was just like, that's basically perfect.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, man, that's the Selfish Ledger. We'll post a link to it. It's weird.
yeah, man, we'll link
Have
it
a
up.
watch. Try and stay open-minded if you watch it.
And try not to try to get to sleep afterwards.
Yeah, try not to lose too much sleep over it while it controls when you go to bed.
Oh God. Yeah.
You must sleep now. Administering sleep pill. Like, no.
Nighty night.
Yeah, my God. But yeah, that's the Selfish Ledger.
Man, I think that wraps up.
I think it does
I think
wrap
that
up.
about wraps up everything for today, I suppose.
It does. Welcome back.
Welcome back. We can go back to sweating our asses off.
We will.
Yeah, in as many fans, the path of as many fans as we can find.
That's totally possible.
And what do you do, man? Do you open the window to let the air in, or do you close the window to keep out the motorbike noise?
Do you know what?
What do you do? And the flies
It's
as well.
lose, man. If this episode's crap, it's that fly.
No one wins. No one is a
No.
winner in this situation.
Not at all.
Okay, well, thank you as always to everyone who's got this far for listening.
Well done.
If you are this far, do what you like. I mean, live your life. But if you want to comment or like wherever you're listening to it,
What do you think of
That's
the
fine.
old selfish ledger?
if
Do you know what? Before we close up, that's an interesting thing to call it for an internal video. Because it's almost like they're assuming that it's like, this is bad. And selfish isn't a word you'd use if you're trying to sell something.
Yeah.
So this is selfish. You'd be like, this is like the thinking ledger.
It does sound quite
as opposed
negative,
to
doesn't it?
selfish is very a negative thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bad Google.
Bad Google.
Well, all I was going to say was, if you've enjoyed the episode in the car, honk your horn lots as you're driving along, because we'll hear it. No one honked.
No.
It hasn't come out yet. Okay.
Edit.
Edit. Yeah. Thanks as always to Tony Thaxton for our theme, and Tom. Where can people find you?
At Bite Review online on Twitter, on the Twitterland,
On Twitterland and on Instagram.
Instagram if you want to.
Maybe. I mean, sure. Why not?
Why not?
I'm at Benji Onlung on pretty much everything.
Everything.
Tell me just how slapdash this episode has been.
So slapdash.
Perfect. All right. I think that's it. Okay,
Bye,
thanks.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.